This is a live stream test using my Sony camera, and I doubt that anybody will see this except for me. I'm curious to know if the Rodecaster is actually my default microphone or if we're using the microphone built into. I'm not getting any signal, so I'm curious. I have one person that jumped in on the stream. That might be myself. I don't know. If anybody has seen the stream, jump in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Conquest Racing Club. Hey, man, listen, your videos are stellar. Your footage is great. I really like your graphics that you use. You're doing a fantastic job. Great content. I'm just testing my camera. I've got a Sony a6400, and I really like the footage. I've got like a 16 millimeter wide angle lens, kind of like the typical lens. That's a Sigma. I really like the look that it gives me. But yeah, YouTube wouldn't have let me pick the I have a Rodecaster Pro that is my audio device, but YouTube wouldn't let me select it. It would only select the default microphone. So I went in and set the default microphone as the Rodecaster. So I'm trying to decide, are you picking up audio from this microphone or are you getting it from my laptop microphone? So you're all Sony cameras as well? Yeah, I watch a YouTube channel, Tom Buck, and he is a big proponent of Ecamm Live, and I've not downloaded it mainly because I I haven't wanted to spend the money on it, but I hear great things. So that's what you use? Yeah, did you see that they released the new Rodecaster, the Rodecaster 2? I watched Tom Buck's live stream about it last night. It looks fantastic, but I don't know if it's enough difference for me to upgrade my Rodecaster Pro. A buddy of mine and I have a podcast, and we talk about things that are happening in our local community. And so that's what I use the Rodecaster for most of the time. And so I've been taking advantage of the fact that I own one for my YouTube videos. Um, and I get to use my nice Neumann microphone. So don't need the Rodecaster 2. I kind of agree. I'm not sure that I want to spend the money on it, although it new gear is always exciting. So you have 3 different studio setups. Is that because you have different tracks? Yeah, so in another life, I have a band, um, and we sing out a lot. Um, I was a youth pastor, and we put together a worship band, and so we traveled around all over, really all over the world, to be honest, uh, and led worship, and that means I have a lot of gear. So I've got a nice PA system in a trailer that we travel with, and got some nice microphones. And I would love to buy like an SM7B microphone for my podcast, but I I've got this Neumann, and it sounds so stinking good. I just I hate to spend more money on microphones when I own like 10 different microphones. So yeah, I just wanted to do a test. Not that I want to step on anybody else's toes out there that's providing content. Dave's live stream on Sundays is great. I We're usually racing at 4:30 when he goes live, so I miss it every week and have to watch the replay. So I've been trying to create content without buying a bunch of new stuff. I didn't want to get into that. I guess the trap of always having to order new cars and review cars, and that be my whole channel. I really try to focus my channel on the new person in the hobby. So, um, and so like this week, I think my video is going to be about just my track layout and the changes that I've made and the changes that I want to make to my track layout. Um, so you're using a 66. Yeah, I would like to upgrade to the latest greatest Sony. I was a Nikon guy most of my life until about 2 years ago, and I just sold my Nikon stuff and went all Sony. And I'm not looking back, man. It's the Sony stuff is fantastic, but I've never used it as a webcam. I was never able to get the Sony software to work, but I think do you use like a Blackmagic ATEM um, to stream, or are you using an Elgato capture card, or what? I'm not sure what you're using. Yeah, the SM7B is just like the epitome. Now I used to own one, and I kind of got I, I wanted to buy a new guitar, and I had this old it was probably 1974 SMB7, um, and I sold it. You use the A10 Mini. Do you like that? That's what Tom Buck uses, and his live streams look fantastic. I sit on the board for the local civic theater, and we have one to do our productions. So during the pandemic, we had to get creative, so we live streamed a bunch of our shows with nobody in the crowd, um, and so we have some of that equipment. So I thought about borrowing that just to test it to see if I like it. Yeah, man, Raul, I should have just brought you in on a Zoom call and just the two of us, so we could just chat back and forth. But um, this is good. Oh, so you have the Zoom P8 as well? How do you like that? I've heard good things about it, but Zoom doesn't seem to update any of their firmware ever. I have some Zoom guitar effects pedals, and feel like there's some things they could fix with a firmware update, and they never do any firmware updates. Oh yeah, you connect with Travis. Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I really like his channel. His content is great. What a collection of stuff that he has, though. He's got Hot Wheels. He has slot cars. Um, yeah, his videos of his top 5 favorites is really good. I like Massimo's uh, content as well. This the World Cup footage has been great. I've enjoyed it. Yeah, there's some guy I keep getting invited to. I don't know what they're called. There's a big group that does this gigantic Zoom call, um, and they keep yeah, Zoom is pretty simple, super easy to use, but they keep inviting me. They're like, "Hey," they reach out, "Marty, you should jump in on our call." Um, but they always do a Zoom call when when I'm at work, and so I get the notification that they're live, and I can never jump in just because I'm too busy at work. Yeah, you said that you and Massimo are gonna meet up soon because you guys are close. That's cool. Yeah, he seems to be he seems to be a great guy. I'm really enjoying the slot car community. Some of the guys that I've met, like you, and just hadn't had a chance to connect over video. So maybe we can plan to do that sometime soon. Yeah, I really like the look of this live stream. I need to work on my lighting a little bit. I'm down in my basement. So I live in a house that was built 1897. So the walls are all these stone foundations. So it looks like a dungeon, but it's a great vibe for the slot car track. Um, the only problem I have is it gets a little dusty. So I've got to always be cleaning the track. So yeah, man, let's plan to maybe do a Zoom call one evening when you have some time, maybe the next week or so, just just to get to know you a little better um, and just kind of how you got into the hobby. And you seem to have a pretty good collection of cars as well. So yeah, all the insulation. Yeah, yeah, the walls are. I mean, so my house used to sit on the Ohio Erie Canal. I could throw a rock into where the canal from my front porch. The canal was just right in front of my house, and so I live on an old street in downtown Chillicothe. So Chillicothe was the original capital of Ohio. So it's got this just it's an old town, um, great downtown vibe. We're right downtown. I'm one block from the center of the town and the courthouse. But yeah, so a lot of the foundation was built from stone from the old canal. So yeah, it's got cool history. You're trying to get to 500 cars. Dang. So I own 6 cars, I think. I'm getting ready to order. I did that video a couple weeks ago. I guess it's been longer than that now, of like my 5 like cars that I really want really bad. So I'm going to try to order a couple off of that list here in the next few days. So wow, you have 200 now. That's crazy. Now, do you have all brands, or do you really focus on Carrera? Because I know that your track and your test tracks Carrera. Yeah, so I all my cars are Carrera except for one. I have one slotted um, that I love the car. It's super fast. I've got it tuned pretty well now. It handles really well, but I've got 2 Carrera cars that actually outperform it. So which is kind of crazy. Mostly Carrera, and that's a lot of Carrera cars. I was looking at some of the old catalogs just to see what they've released. They released some pretty cool cars over the years. Um, yeah, I'm just yeah, the NSR stuff is nice, man. I feel like that's definitely a racer's car. Um, I I really want to turn my track into a local club. Right now, I've got about 5 friends that come over and race, and 3 of them own cars. The other 2, they borrow a car from me to race, and we just have fun. But I have a lot of people in my community that have reached out. They've seen my posts. They've probably not found my YouTube channel yet, but they've seen my posts on Instagram and Facebook about slot cars, and it's amazing the number of guys that were like, the best Christmas I had in my life when I was 10 and I got an HO track, and so that's it's pretty cool. Like any Porsche, or like my favorite Porsche, my 917. That's one of my favorite cars of all time. I love the old Porsches. I really want the NSR 9083. That's a man, that's a sweet looking Porsche. Really, you've only been in collecting slot cars since January? You've spent some money on cars. That's that's crazy. I can't believe that nobody else jumped on. But yeah, that's really cool. The 9083, the NSR 9083s. Yeah, I love the Golf livery is awesome in that. Those yeah, those are pretty cool. They seem to be pretty good performers too. Dave Kennedy did a nice video um, on them. So yeah. All right, man. This was a good test. Thanks for letting me know how it sounds. I'll go back and watch the replay in a little bit, and I'll probably take it down. But I really enjoyed the conversation. And yeah, I'll send you a message on Facebook or something, and maybe sometime this week. It's a Memorial Day weekend, so I might have a little bit of time. Um, Maybe we can chat for a little bit, if that sounds good. Man, thanks. Appreciate it. Take care. Hey, Sean Casey, what's going on? I'm just doing a test. Got some equipment that I was testing. So, wow, now I've got 5 people on. Who else is on? Um, this has turned into a stream. I was really just testing my microphone and my camera to see how things sounded and what kind of live stream I could do. So, how can I? Who else can I see? How can I tell who else is here? Unless they don't. Unless they jumped in. Yeah, I'm just testing. So, but I may this weekend do a live stream, maybe on Friday night or on Saturday. I thought I'd pick a subject and for maybe newbies in the hobby and talk about it. So, um, I just wanted to get my ducks in a row. So yeah, thanks for jumping in. Hopefully this sounds good and it looks okay. Um, don't look at this guy. That doesn't look okay, but my backdrop and my lighting looks halfway decent. So night's better than daytime. Yeah, I love Dave Kennedy's live stream, but I really struggle to jump on at 4:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. I'm usually either doing yard work or a bunch of friends come over and we race. Usually on Sunday afternoons. We've been pushing that off till later on Sunday evenings now, about 7. But it's tough to jump on midday streams. So yeah, thanks for jumping in. So I'm gonna shut it down, but I'll put out a notice and see if anybody else is interested in jumping in the live stream the next time. So thanks for stopping in. Oh, who else jumped in? Uh, yeah, Sean, thanks for jumping in. All right, guys, have a good evening. Take care.